Do I still believe in the future of Koch Inu? Yes. And at a $10 billion market cap, I don't see why that'd be too crazy. Even though that's not financial advice, I'm talking about this born, of course. Now, people may be thinking, okay, how's that possible? Take a look at Koch Inu. It hasn't been doing the best. It's done. It's over. Well, I think the key thing that sometimes people miss is the fact that when it comes to Koch Inu, it's a meme coin on Avalanche. Now, granted, Koch Inu didn't have to choose Avalanche, in my opinion. Like, maybe it could have chose like Solana or something like that. Who knows, right? Because let's say a developer wants to make, a meme coin, they could really choose anywhere. But then, in my opinion, this holds value because even though Koch Inu isn't necessarily different from a bunch of other meme coins, the way you take a look at it is that being on a place that is very unique, again, Avalanche, that does really, I think, hold some value because think about this, right? People love Ethereum meme coins and then they want to move on to Solana-based meme coins. Not that it's really anything different in terms of its use case, but then people just like Solana because they say, hey, low gas fees. It's very scalable. We want to, also love these Solana meme coins, which is why I think historically we saw Book of Meme, Dog with Hat, do very well. Also Bonk. Now, also, not to mention, right, people, they want to look for other places. Take a look at Cardano, for instance. Take a look at the Base network. So really, when you take a look at something like being on Avalanche, this isn't something that has really gained that traction yet. It did in the past a little bit, but I think better days are ahead because I think Avalanche still has some ways to go. And I think naturally, as a result of that, I think Koch Inu is going to go along with the ride. Now, some people may be thinking, okay, a $10 billion market cap is insane. Well, is it really? We've seen Dogecoin in the past reach over $80 billion in market cap back in 2021. And also that year, we saw Shiba Inu reach around $40 billion in market cap. Now, you may be thinking, okay, why am I referring to it in terms of market cap? It's because, in terms of the price, if I said it, it'd be overly complicated. So I think it's much more easier to refer to it in terms of market cap. But even besides that, I don't think this is too much to ask for. And keep in mind, back in the peak of the 2021 bull run, there was roughly around 300 million crypto owners. Now there's over 600 million, according to Crypto.com research. So really, this bull run, I think, could be a lot more special than back then. And again, a $10 billion market cap, I don't think it's too crazy. Now, keep in mind, though, a $10 billion market cap is currently around 136x from here. Now, that is how much Koch Inu has gone down. Now, is that necessarily a bad thing? Maybe for those who are holding, from kind of like its quote-unquote top, right? But in my opinion, really, in the grand scheme of things, if something is going low, sure, my portfolio may be down, but I'm still going to be accumulating more because that way I'm lowering down my average cost. I'm not telling anyone to buy Koch Inu, by the way, or anything really. I'm not telling anyone to do that, right? But this is just personally what I'm doing. I'm just speculating after all. I don't know the future, but I'm willing to take a chance on this because I do love Avalanche as a layer 1 blockchain. I think it's one of the best layer 1 blockchains out there. So when I see a meme coin on there, I'm going to believe it. And when you take a look at it, there really isn't that many Avalanche meme coins. Like, just think about that, right? If people think about Solana-based meme coins, they can name a bunch. Ethereum, let alone, people can name a bunch, right? But really, when it comes to something like, Avalanche, people can only really say Koch Inu in most cases. Now, sure, people can argue Kimbo or whatever, but Kimbo hasn't gained the, traction in which Koch Inu has, in my opinion. Now, of course, people also know meme coins on the Base network, like Toshi and Brett, for instance. Also, Cardano could be argued, but when you take a look at something like Avalanche, it hasn't gained that traction yet. So really, I think this, if anything, is like getting into like Book of Meme, for instance, before Solana, and that gained its traction, in my opinion. Now, maybe not to the same extent, in a sense, because, of course, Solana did experience that a lot sooner than Avalanche, but I'm just saying it kind of gives me that vibe a little bit. Now, people may be thinking that, okay, that's not true because Avalanche is a bad layer 1 blockchain. Well, no, it's not, because it's very scalable, it's very fast. People often like to say that, oh, Ethereum is better. Well, how is Ethereum better? Take a look at the sky-high gas fees and arguable scalability issues. This is not better than this, in my opinion. Now, Ethereum has layer 2s to kind of combat this type of stuff. I totally understand that. But really, Avalanche, very low gas fees, very scalable, very fast. It's just a perfect place to be for a meme coin, in my opinion. Now, is Koch Inu going to be this project that has the best use case of all time? No, but it has some aspects that could, I think, really signify that it's not a lazy project by any means. Because, for instance, on its ecosystem, there are community projects related to NFTs, DeFi, and gaming. So that's very impressive. I mean, it's not like it's really anything special, really, but the way you take a look at it is that it's a thought that counts. If a meme coin really isn't doing anything, I think it could still do fine, but I think showcasing that they're trying to improve a little bit, I think that showcases that they're willing to put some effort, and that is why I do really love meme coins. Now, more specifically, again, something like Cock Inu. Now, not to mention, Cock Inu, the community is very passionate. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is, even though Cock Inu hasn't been doing the best, they still have that same level of enthusiasm and belief for its future. And I do really like that, because other meme coins out there, they don't have this. They really don't. I mean, when the price is going down, the community just kind of leaves. Maybe there might still be a lot of holders in some cases, but the community just isn't vocal anymore. But when it comes to Cock Inu, it still feels like it's in the race, in my opinion. When it comes to the community, it's still very passionate. Now, let's not forget, why could this brand be special? It's because currently, there's over 600 million crypto owners, according to Crypto.com research, which is more than ever before in history. So I think this brand could be, again, very special. Not to mention, you take a look at the Bitcoin ETF, which I think could really bring a lot of positive sentiment. Now, let's not forget, we do know that usually altcoins, as a worst-case scenario, they typically peak around a year and a half after a Bitcoin halving event. And the last Bitcoin halving event happened back in April of last year. So a year and a half from then is around October this year. So imagine that, right? Even historically speaking, this isn't supposed to be the time yet to peak for altcoins as a worst-case scenario. Now, is that good or bad news? Depending. But in my opinion, I do think about it as good news, because I think if anything, it showcases that there could still be a lot of time here. The way I take a look at it is that when it comes to something like this run, it could be so amazing, and I'm willing to stay patient. I'm going to still be acquiring, holding, and just waiting when it comes to Cock Inu. And guess who's another individual who could very well think that 2025 is very special? But in this case, you take a look at Charles Hoskinson, who allegedly, by the way, got fired from Ethereum despite co-founding Ethereum, and he eventually moved on to Cardano, which I don't think is such a bad thing, allegedly, by the way, because, Cardano is a much better layer 1 blockchain. But again, according to Charles, as part of a video that he was a part of back in November last year, he did say that 1 to 2 years from then, he could very well see Bitcoin reaching anywhere between $250,000 all the way up to $500,000. So just imagine that. If we assume his best case scenario timeline, which is a year, from November, so that's November this year, and worst case scenario price target, so $250,000 for Bitcoin, right? If that were to happen this year, could you imagine what happens to Cock Inu then? Maybe at that point, a $10 billion market cap may seem a little bit bearish. That's just the way you take a look at it. So when people like to say that, oh yeah, Cock Inu is bad, here's the thing. Even if, let's say, Cock Inu doesn't go to a $10 billion market cap, let's say it goes to a $5 billion market cap, that right there is still over a 65x from here. I mean, just let that sink in. Even if we have the prediction of what I hypothetically think Cock Inu could go to, that's already over a 65x. Now, there's no guarantee. Am I saying I'm going to be 100% correct? No. There's no way to tell the future, but I'm willing to take a chance on this because I do believe in Avalanche, and I do believe in Cock Inu. And again, when a bull run could be this special, I'm going to wait it out. I'm going to wait and see, because I view this as a marathon. It's not a sprint. And again, a $10 billion market cap, I don't see why that surprised me whatsoever for Cock Inu during this bull run. And make sure to subscribe if you gain value from this video. I greatly appreciate it. It's Malik the Captain, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm up. Peace. Bye.